What is going on, guys? Big NBA slate tonight. We've got 10 games on the agenda, along with Monday Night Football. If you want to see my Monday Night Football picks for tonight, you'll have to check out my other video that I posted earlier on today. So we're going double dipping today, two videos over here on the YouTube. I'll be going through my top bets for the NBA games tonight. There's a lot on the board, 10 games, a lot of injury news, just so many situations that we can take advantage of. I'm only going to be sharing three of my regular bets tonight and then a couple parlay fillers that I like to. Quite honestly, I had a really big weekend between college football, NBA on Friday, and NFL yesterday. So I'm taking the NBA today pretty light, but I do have a few plays that I'm going to share with you guys, and I have a lean to that I might put some cash on, but I'm not fully sure if I want to just yet. That I'll touch on, but it'll be a quicker video today. I'll be back with a longer NBA video tomorrow. Obviously, Thanksgiving week, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'll have NFL videos on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday instead of just Thursday and Sunday. And I'll mix in NBA videos all the other days too, as long as there's games. I haven't looked at the schedule yet or anything, but anyways, let's get into it for today. If you haven't joined Discord yet, it's free to join. It's the link to join is in the pinned comment below. If you aren't a VIP, you haven't seen these plays yet, but the VIP has got these plays earlier on in the day today, about 3 or 4 hours ago. I posted them in there. Basically, what you get as a VIP is you get all the plays, before I share them on YouTube. So if there's any line movements or anything, you'll get ahead of the line movement. You get screenshots of every single bet that I actually place on Underdog and PrizePicks and all these other websites. So if you want to tell exactly what I'm betting, that is for the VIPs only. And then I'll also do a little written write-up of every single play too that I'm sharing with you guys in these videos. Kind of a similar format on how I talk through these things in a YouTube video, except it's only written and you get it earlier on in the day too, along with the slips and stuff. But if you want to become a VIP, I'm running an insane promo right now. It ends at the end of the month, but it's $100 for an annual subscription. My normal price, $20 a month, $10 a week. You're saving a fortune by doing this $100 annual subscription. The deal ends on November 30th, so after the Sunday NFL slate. If you're interested in locking in all of my picks for an entire year, this is probably the best deal that you'll ever get for that opportunity. And you get locked into that price for life. So if you subscribe to the $100 this year and you renew it to next year, it's going to stick at $100, even though the market value of that probably is going to be like $300 to $400 next year. So just a way you could save some cash and ride with me long term. If you're interested in this deal, use the link in the description below. It will automatically send you to the page with this deal. You'll get a 7-day free trial with it too. If you are going through my link tree and you just go to the normal Tales page, I use promo code 1000 and that will apply the discount code for you and everything. But that's going to wrap up my little advertisement here. And then lastly, definitely not least though, the tool that I use every single day for my research is Outlier.bet. It is a paid subscription website, but if you want a 7-day free trial to give it a shot, there's a link in the description below too where you can get that free trial. Honestly, I use Outlier for everything. I'm wearing the hat today. I wore the RM hat for the NFL video to go back and forth. But Outlier is a great product. I use it for all of my bets. It's really the only tool that you need in order to make some cash in this game. And it's fairly affordable too compared to the competitors. So it's definitely worth the investment. But let's get into plays today. Like I said, I don't have a ton, but there are a handful that I do like a lot. So the first one here we're going to talk about is Bobby Portis over 26.5 PRA. No Giannis tonight for the Bucks yet again. Bobby Portis has looked pretty good this year. He's only played 4 games without Giannis, playing about 25 minutes a game here. He's only gone over twice and he went under the other 2 times too. But I want to look at the full sample size and I want to filter for minutes. So the last 2 games without Giannis, he had 25 minutes and 27 minutes. Granted, that was an overtime game against Philadelphia. So I'd say the most likely outcome is about 23 plus minutes for Bobby Portis tonight. So I'm going to filter for the games where Portis played 23 or more minutes without Giannis the last 2 seasons. He's averaging 33.9 PRA in the sample size, going over this number 10 out of 12 times. If you think he's going to get 25 minutes, that goes up to 10 out of 11 times with a 34.9 PRA average. So it goes up a point or so. But really good spot for Bobby Portis. I know he hasn't come through a ton this year, just in general. Obviously, 2 out of 4 games without Giannis, but Ryan Rollins is taking a lot of the usage as well, but I do think we do see at least like 25 minutes or so for Portis. And as long as he's on the floor and doesn't get into foul trouble, I think he'll be able to do enough just across the board where he goes over this 26.5 number. It's currently minus 105 on Hard Rock. This is the line on Underdog Fantasy and PrizePicks and Sleeper. So if you are on the DFS apps, this is the number that you're getting it at. My next play today, these are plays that are only on the DFS apps, and they're my 1/2 props. You guys know I love them. But the first one is Alperen Sengun, under 12.5 first half points. This is only on Underdog Fantasy. PrizePicks has the line at 12. Definitely is worth taking advantage of the better line. So if you're playing on PrizePicks currently and don't play on Underdog Fantasy, you definitely need to sign up for Underdog because this half point matters a ton. And when you do sign up for Underdog Fantasy, use code LayTheHouseRM. You'll get a deposit bonus. You'll get all these promos like these gimme picks and discounts and stuff just for signing up using my code. And if you send me a screenshot of you doing that, like a DM on Discord or Twitter or something, I'll throw in 3 months of my VIP completely free for you. It's just a little incentive to take advantage of my code in Underdog Fantasy. Most of my play is over on Underdog, so it definitely supports the channel and just my community in general whenever you guys use my promo code. So. But anyways, the reason why I'm on the Sengun under, he's going under this number, 13 out of 14 games this year, 66 out of 83 games last year. It goes up to 84% when it's just road games and all 7 road games this year. I think we combine both numbers together. It's 39 out of 45 games, which is an 87% win rate or so. Granted, there is no Kevin Durant, which does throw a wrinkle in things. There is no Van Fleet. There is no Jason Tate. Steven Adams is also questionable, but he just seems to not go over this 12.5 number very often. This line was 11.5 a couple of days ago. I don't know why. I mean, I get why they bumped it because of the injuries and stuff, but I wouldn't have bumped it if I were them. I think 11.5 is more of a decision point. 12.5, it's kind of like an easier under for me to take. And, if it burns me, it burns me, but I'm just going to go with the large sample size here. And he's been a guy that we've been making a lot of money on this season, just in general. The other play that I'm on, also Underdog Fantasy and PrizePicks only. Now, this line is on both sites, so it's the same on both apps. But it's Pascal Siakam, over 16.5 first half PRA. Plain and simple, there's no Halliburton. Mathurin is back, which does take a bit of the usage away from Siakam, but he's been balling in the first half this year, averaging 19.3 first half PRA, going over this number 13 out of 15 times. Just a decent spot for him. He went over this number the other night against Detroit. It looks like a week ago from today. He ended up with 15 points and 2 rebounds with no assists. I wouldn't expect anything more than like 2 to 4 assists from him, but the scoring is definitely there. The rebound opportunity is there. He's going to be on the floor enough as long as he's not in foul trouble. Just a decent spot for him to keep this streak going. And honestly, like, these sites, they don't adapt very often. Like last year, we were hitting Trae Young at an 80% win rate, and they just wouldn't move the line. So this could be something similar to the Trae Young line or the Kristaps Porzingis line that we were taking last year. That's just something that we'll just take every single game, and we'll just keep doing it unless either he falls off a cliff or the books start adapting. But they're historically very slow at adjusting these first half lines. So just something to look out for if you find a good first half prop with like a really strong hit rate and like all other, everything in the environment stays the same. Like all the injuries and stuff are similar. Mathurin's back, which might ruin this one. Maybe, maybe not. But as long as everything stays the same and the trend is hitting and they're not moving the line, there's no reason to just not take it every single day. One that I looked at today was the Donovan Mitchell. I'll just touch on this. This isn't a play or anything, but like the Mitchell first half PRA is one that you guys know that I've been taking a good amount this year. Let's see if it's still up. It might have been down. Yeah, here we go. First half PRA. So it's up to 21 on PrizePicks. We were taking this under for a while. We see it's an 81% hit rate, 13 out of 16 games. But tonight, there is no Garland and there is no Hunter, which kind of throws a curveball into things, and no Jarrett Allen, too. we don't have a sample size of anything with all three of these guys out. So that's why I'm not going to take the Donovan Mitchell under today, even though, like, without Garland, this is something we were taking for a while. We were taking it last year too without Garland. You throw in Hunter being out, the sample gets even smaller. And now with Jarrett Allen out, like, we have no sample. So I'm not going to bet something like this, even if it is theoretically a good play. It's just not something I want to take a risk on, mainly because there's too many unknowns for me. What's stopping Donovan Mitchell from taking 25 shots in the first half because he's the only one on the floor? So that's just a situation that I like to avoid. Wanted to touch on that for you guys, just to teach you a little bit about how I look at things here. Those are the only three: the Portis, the Siakam, and Sengun. Those are the only three regular bets that I'm on today, like the normal lines. I do have a couple parlay fillers that I also like today. I don't really, like I said, I'm not going too deep today. One of them is Scotty Barnes, over 24.5 PRA. He's gone over in 16 out of 17 games this season. And then when I filter for games without RJ Barrett, which we don't have a sample size, it's just going to add into his usage. But last year he went over this number 77% of the time. I wish it was a little bit better without Barrett last year. It was 83% of the time in general, but he's been strong this year, just averaging 31.9 PRA compared to 32.8 PRA last year. But like I said, his usage is going to go up without Barrett tonight. And the game is expected to stay close, obviously, with everyone out with the Cavs. Barnes is going to have a decent role. It's pretty much only going to be him and Ingram and Quickly who are going to be able to do the scoring and shoulder the load here for the Raptors. So I'm going to go with this PRA alternate line, only on one slip, nothing too crazy. The other play that I'm on for an alternate line is Isaiah Collier, over 9.5 points and assists. So he's been playing like weird minutes this year: 26 minutes, 15, 27, 25, 36, 21, 14, and 23. So what is that showing me? That really doesn't show me much, but I want to filter for games where he's playing 15 or more minutes because that seems to be pretty safe based on this sample size. And if we're looking at games where he's playing 15 or more minutes, he's gone over this number all 7 games this year. Last year, he went over this number 54 out of 61 games. Why am I filtering for 15 minutes? Because if I go lower, you're going to get all these games in the beginning of the year last year where he just didn't have much a role with the team. And so when I go up with the minutes a little bit, you see these games slowly start to get filtered out. And once you get to 15 minutes or so, the majority of them are filtered out. And then he went on a streak of 45 straight games going over this 9.5 points and assists when he was playing 15 more minutes. I think it's up to 56 games. So crazy sample size on Collier. As long as he gets the minutes, I do think he gets there, even if it does blow out tonight. But that is it for the parlay fillers. Then I have one lean that I want to share. It's not an official play. Maybe it is an official play. I don't really know just yet, but Yusuf Nurkic, over 9.5 rebounds. There's no Walker Kessler for the Jazz for the foreseeable future. And looking at the games this year without Kessler, Nurkic went over this 9.5 rebounds number 9 out of 11 games. The reason why I don't love it is because he's landed on 10 exactly 5 times. Now, that's kind of gives me some hesitation here because he's barely going over this number. If he was consistently landing on 11 and only having 10 on here, maybe once or twice, I'd be more confident to take the over on this line. But since he's just barely ticking over and getting that 10th rebound, it's not as strong of a play as I typically like to make. But if you want to make it, you can go ahead. I do have it on one small slip, nothing crazy by any means, but it is something I do like. But this is also just another way to think about things too. When I'm looking at these charts, I'm not just looking if they cleared the line. I'm looking at if they've cleared the line with ease or if they're consistently ending up right at this line too. So if Nurkic here, if every single outcome of his was either 9 or above, I'd probably be a little bit more likely to take this, but I still want to see a little bit more than just going half a point over or 1 rebound over. Technically, I try to find things that are smash spots, and that's why I'm not a high volume guy. You're not going to see me posting 20 NBA picks in a night or 30 NFL picks in a week because I'm very picky. I only place bets on things that I'm very confident in that I think will win money. I don't want to put out losers for you guys because obviously I have the cash on this myself. So that's going to wrap things up today. Kind of rambled a bit more, showed you guys a little bit more on the educational side too today, typically more than I normally would. But like I mentioned before, join Discord, completely free to join. It's in the pinned comment below. Become a VIP before this deal ends on November 30th. Like I said, you're never going to get a price better than that $100 annual subscription that I'm offering for you. And that's like across the board, even like any cappers on like Dub Club, on Tails, on Winnable, on WAP. Like nobody's giving $100 subscriptions away for a full year and a lifetime guarantee at that price. So hopefully I can see you guys in the VIPs later today showing off your wins. If not, best of luck on your bets tonight, and thanks for watching.